This is the test setup for a generator stator protection relay. This particular one is the UBX117 from Brown Boveri, which is the company before it became ABB. On the right here I have secondary injection test set that's being driven via this laptop, and at the back here I have a DC power supply. It will supply 18 volts because this particular relay requires a separate tripping supply, and then the Omicron will supply the 24 volts DC for the actual relay power. At this moment in time the test setup I've got is injection voltage into this side here, which is the actual trip level. I've got the auxiliary DC supply going onto the crop clips on the back of the PCB. I've got the first binary input, which actually takes in the trip signal from this relay, which is when the little LED comes on, and then binary 2 is on the start function, which it doesn't actually have a signal on the front of the relay, you just gets it a start signal when the trip level is exceeded, and that sends it to the test set, whereas the trip function has a slight time delay to it, which should be around about 500 milliseconds. So I need to set up two functions within the Omicron. So I need to start quick CMC, which will provide the voltage injection and the timing, and I also need to start up the aux DC function, which will allow me to switch 24 volts on. Okay, so set up VLE1, I've set it to 5%. The actual tripping voltage of the relay is set by a solderable link in here, which is set to 100 volts, so that should pick up at 5 volts. So we'll go a little bit below that to start with, and I will look to pick up the start function. Okay. That's wise. The test set hasn't come on. Okay, now we've got 24 volts. So I can set this to go up in 10 millivolts, auto step it, and we'll set this for 250 milliseconds. Test switch the test set on, and go button. So currently up to 5.2, 5.3. I usually allow about 10% tolerance, so it should have tripped by the time it gets to 5.5, which it hasn't done. Oh, it's gone there. Okay, so it's tripped at 5.99 volts, just quite a ways out. So we'll go to the other end of the scale, which should be maximum of 12. Reset the relay. Okay, so we'll set him up for 11.9 volts. 10 millivolts again every 250 milliseconds, and we'll see what this will come out at. So there it's tripped 14.70 volts, which is just too high. So to test the actual trip time, I can set this up to change into there, and I can just put the start button about a volt above the trip level, and you can see there it's now 637 milliseconds. so it's quite slow as well. So the relay's tripping at too high a voltage and isn't tripping fast enough. So those are the two faults that I'll need to have a look at.